I want to welcome you to the Pickens County Teacher of the Year Banquet 2018. It's an exciting time that we come to celebrate excellence in teaching. Once tonight are 7 excellent teachers. They have been voted by their staff as some of the best of the best. And tonight, watching all the math lessons, I can't wait to see our math scores next spring. But I want to share with you just a moment about what a real teacher is. Now, these are all real teachers, but I want to share. Real teachers grade papers in the car, during commercials, in faculty meetings, in the bathroom, and at the end of the semester, even in church. Real teachers cheer when they hear April 1st does not fall on a school day. Real teachers can't walk past a crowd of kids without straightening up the line. Real teachers never sit down without first checking the seat of their chair. Real teachers have disjointed necks from writing on the boards without turning their backs to the class. Real teachers are written up in the medical journals for the size and elasticity of their kidneys and bladders. Real teachers have been timed gulping down a full lunch in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Master teachers can eat even faster than that. Real teachers can predict exactly which parents will show up at open house. Real teachers volunteer for hall duty on days of faculty meetings. Real teachers know it's better to seek forgiveness than ask permission. Real teachers know the best end of the semester lesson plans sometimes come from Netflix. We got to talk about that. Real teachers never assign research papers the last 6 weeks of a grading period. Real teachers know the shortest distance between the length of travel time from their classroom and the office. Real teachers can sense gum anywhere. Real teachers know the difference among what must be graded, what ought to be graded, and what probably should never see the light of day again. Real teachers have the best conferences with their parents in parking lots. They've never heard an original excuse. Real teachers buy bulk of Excedrin and Advil at Sam's. Real teachers eat anything that's put in the workroom or teacher's lounge. They know the phone numbers of the assistant principals and counselors, their home numbers. Real teachers know the secretaries and custodians really run the school. Real teachers also know that they can hear the heartbeats of crisis, always have time to listen. They know that they teach students and not subjects, and that they're absolutely non-expendable. We're here tonight to celebrate real teachers. Our entertainment tonight, Mr. Joe Morgan, back there in the back. Thank you, Joe. We want to thank Miss Cindy Parks and Originals to Remember, and thank you for the food tonight. She's our caterer. I also want to thank our decorator, one of our central office personnel, Miss Cindy Little, and also a special thanks to Miss Martha Seegers for putting up with me all day today. We do have a number of gifts that were donated for our Teachers of the Year. I'd like to read those sponsors. We've got 61 Main, Chattahoochee Technical College, Clock Tower Gifts, LJ Telephone Company, Jasper Drug Store, IBM Southeast Employees Credit Union, Reinhardt College, Sackett's Western Wear, Bojangles, and Shottenkirk Ford, with Mr. Brett Miller and Chad Jones here with us with those. We're also very thankful for our one of our sponsors. The sponsors for tonight's event was our Coca-Cola Bottling Company United, with Mr. Jeffrey Boyd, Business Development Manager, with us tonight, and we thank him. Everybody thank him for he paid for everything. I'm going to ask Reverend Eddie Rhodes of Woodstock Church in Jasper to come up and give us our invitation for bless our food.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. If you would bow with me for a word of prayer. Our Father, in Jesus' name we come, and very grateful we get to honor difference makers in this room. So thank you for these teachers, and want to be real mindful to pray for Miss Poole's future father-in-law. God, I pray you'd provide a liver, spare this gentleman's life. And then, Lord, thank you for the dinner you provided. Nourish us with it, and may we have a wonderful evening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Of course, I forgot one sponsor. Sean Hank, I forgot the name. Sean, what is that? Shaw. Anyway, they're responsible for all the insurances and everything, which I'm not going to go over real well, I guess, with that. I apologize for that. But they also are one of our sponsors, and we'll get it all straightened out. And I'm glad all of them went here tonight to hear that. But let's see. I want to thank my central office staff. Y'all learned a long time ago. Find the best people you can find, surround yourself with them, and let them get out. They get out of the way and let them do their job. So if my central office staff would stand up, I really appreciate y'all. Everybody. Before I introduce our guest speaker, I want to share one quick story with you. It's a true story. Steve, a 12-year-old boy with alcoholic parents, was about to be lost forever by the United States educational system. Remarkably, he could read, yet in spite of his reading skills, Steve was failing. He had been failing since first grade, as he was passed from one grade to the next grade. Steve was a big boy, looking more like a teenager than a 12-year-old. Steve went unnoticed until a teacher named Miss White became his teacher. Miss White was a smiling, young, beautiful redhead, and Steve was in love. For the first time in his young life, he couldn't take his eyes off his teachers. Yet, still, he failed. He never did his homework, and he was always in trouble with Miss White. His heart would break under her sharp words, and when he was punished for failing to turn in his homework, he felt just miserable. But still, he did not study, and he did not try. In the middle of the first semester of school, the entire 7th grade was tested for basic skills. Steve hurried through his test and continued to dream of other things. As the day wore on, his heart was not in school, but in the woods, where he would often find himself escaping alone, trying to shut out the sights and sounds and smells of his alcoholic home. No one checked on him to see if he was safe. No one knew he was gone, because no one was sober enough to care. Oddly, Steve never missed a day of school. One day, Miss White, impatient voice broke into his daydream. Steve, he startled, he looked at her. Pay attention. Steve locked his gaze on Miss White, an adolescent admiration. As she began to go over the test results for the 7th grade, you all did pretty well, she told the class, except for one boy. And it breaks my heart to tell you this. And she hesitated, pinning Steve to his seat with a sharp stare. Her eyes were searching his face. The smartest boy in 7th grade is failing my class. She just stared at Steve, and as the class spun around to take a good look, Steve dropped his eyes and carefully examined his fingernails. After that, it was war. Steve would not do his homework. Even as the punishments became more severe, he remained stubborn. She would say, just try, just give it 1 week. And he was unmoved. You're smart enough. You'll see a change. Nothing fazed him. Give yourself a chance. Don't give up on life. But nothing happened. Steve, please, I care about you. Wow. Suddenly it hit him. Steve got it. Somebody actually cared about him. Someone totally unattainable and perfect cared about him. Steve went from home to school that day. Walking into the house, he took one look around. Both parents were passed out in various stages of undress, and the stench was overpowering. He quickly gathered up his camping gear, a jar of peanut butter and a loaf of bread, a bottle of water, and this time his school books. Grim-faced and determined, he headed for the woods. That following Monday, he arrived at school on time, and as he waited for Miss White to enter the classroom, she walked in all sparkly and smiles. He yearned for her just to smile and give him an approval. Miss White immediately gave a quiz for the weekend homework. Steve hurried through the test and was the first one to hand in his paper. With a look of surprise, Miss White took the paper. Obviously puzzled, she began to look over it. Steve walked back to his desk, his heart pounding within his chest. As he sat down, he couldn't resist another look at a lovely woman. Miss White's face was in total shock. She glanced up at Steve, and then down, and then up. Suddenly, her face broke into a radiant smile. The smartest boy in the 7th grade had just passed his first test. From that moment on, nothing was the same for Steve. Life at home remained the same, but life still changed. He discovered that not only could he learn, but he was good at it. He discovered that he could understand and retain knowledge, and that he could translate that knowledge to things that he learned into his own life. Steve began to excel, and he continued this course throughout his school life. After high school, Steve enlisted in the Navy, and he had a very successful military career. During that time, he met the love of his life. He raised a family, and he graduated from college magna cum laude. During his naval career, he inspired many young men who, without him, might not have believed in themselves. Steve began a second career after the Navy, and he continues today to inspire others as an adjunct professor at a nearby college. Miss White left a great legacy. She saved one boy who has changed many lives. I know, because the author says, I am the love of his life. I am his wife. You see, it's simple. A change took place within the heart of one boy, all because one teacher chose to care. We have many teachers today that care. We're celebrating 7 of them tonight. That the one great thing that separates them from a lot of other teachers is all 7 of these teachers care about our students. Next, we have I've already gave a little bio on him, but the only thing I left out is a man that I greatly admire, respect, and a man that I call my friend, Mr. Ben Arnold.
If I step back, I will disappear. I've got about a foot high. Thank you, Carlton, for your kind introduction and for not using words such as outstanding warrants or statute of limitations. All of the judges here. Carlton did not ask for a bio, but probably if he'd asked a first grade student at LJ Primary School back in 1993, she would have given him the bio. I had just left LJ Primary at Christmas break to become superintendent of Gilmer County Schools. My first day on the job, the secretary brought me a stack of mail. And on the very top, she placed the following letter from a first grade student at LJ Primary School. Dear Mr. Arndt, I miss you already. You were my favorite principal. I was glad to hear that. I had been her only principal, so I was glad I was her favorite principal. She went on. I thought you were very handsome. Love, Brooke. P.S. The rest of the class did not. I still have the letter. We gather tonight to celebrate and honor the Pickens County School System's Teacher of the Year. But in reality, we celebrate and we honor the Pickens County School System Teachers of the Year. Clara, Miss Cece, Holly, Katie, and I wish she was here, Kim, Lynn, and Tom. I honor each of you with a Cambodian greeting of respect. I hold you in the highest respect and esteem. I speak honor to your name, even though you caused me extra time and work getting ready for tonight. You see, I already had the words to speak tonight committed to paper. I had a speech ready for tonight until I sat on the interview team that day. I left Jasper with your words about your students, your expressions of love for your kids, for your co-workers, for your schools, and for your profession. You opened your minds and your hearts to speak truth to your feelings. This is the speech that you write daily. The words are yours. The feelings you imparted to us that day resound again tonight. Our honored teachers spoke about teaching, not just a curriculum of reading, math, music, science, or language arts. They spoke of teaching the whole child. They spoke of getting students involved, connected. They related that they nurture, give positive reinforcement, and have high expectations of their students and of themselves. They make themselves available before, during, and after school. They attend after-school activities to support their students. Each of us here tonight probably has a class group picture in our homes. It might be one with you in it, or your child or grandchild. That picture shows a teacher and the kids in that year's classroom. The picture is centered on that piece of photographic paper, but it does not show any of the light beyond the edges of the picture. It does not show that some of the kids and their families who live on the edge of life, people who live on the margins of food, shelter, and clothing, families who are on the tougher side of invisible borders. The pictures do not show that, but these teachers here tonight do see it, feel it, and deal with it in their classrooms. Way beyond, these teachers give their time, talents, and even their finances to work to assist those in need. They make connections with those who are hurting, with those who need someone to care, and someone to listen. These honored teachers speak of a sense of family and community. They speak of feeling empowered to make a difference for their kids. This does not happen everywhere, but it is happening here in Pickens County Schools. Our interview team asked questions concerning what the teachers liked about the Pickens County school system and what they received from the communities and county. Almost to a person, they spoke of the small town feel, the atmosphere, people working together. We look out for each other. Parents are a part of the team. This is home. We heard about supportive administration and community support. Businesses and individuals have volunteered, served on advisory councils, donated supplies, provided grants, spoken to classrooms, mentored students, and stepped up to the plate whenever they were asked. Every Pickens County citizen here tonight has reason to be proud of community efforts which advance progress in the school system. In addition, every citizen here tonight possesses the abilities to make a personal difference in the lives of young people of this county. What do these teachers enjoy the most about teaching? In one word, kids. They make my day. Cannot imagine doing anything else. Interacting with the kids. Every day is different with the kids. What do these teachers enjoy the least? We were shocked, again, to hear only one word, paperwork. The expression said it all. Kids, paperwork. Why did these folks become teachers? Their moms, dads, grandmothers, favorite teachers, and I want this to be my legacy. Some spoke of writing a letter to a favorite teacher after their becoming a teacher. I did this when I was a principal, and I left a copy with each teacher at the school. I wrote what my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Newberry, taught me, did for me, and gave me. I also shared my favorite memory of Mrs. Newberry. She had the most wonderful laugh, which she shared with us often. Tom, Lynn, Kim, Katie, Holly, Miss Cece, and Clara. Each of you is making a difference in the lives of your students and their families that on longer than you can imagine. I know this to be true, as I witnessed in my own family. My mother became a teacher in Gilmer County in the mid-1930s. She was 18 years old. She taught in a one-room schoolhouse for 3 years. About 1995, she and I were visiting her 95-year-old father, my grandfather, in the Gilmer County Nursing Home. We're walking down the hall talking when a voice from a room called, Miss Bennett, is that you? Mom stepped to the doorway and said that was my maiden name, and then she called the name of one of her students from 60 years ago. She went into the room and spent 2 hours talking and laughing with a former student who was bedridden and only had a few weeks left on this earth. They had not seen one another in 50 years, yet for that afternoon, even though they never left that room, they returned to Flat Branch School. They went back to a time in our country of severe economic depression, of hard times and hard work. More important, they returned to a place of laughter, of new experiences, of friends and family. For those 2 hours, and perhaps beyond, they returned home. Honored teachers, I can give you no higher praise than to say, I see some of my mother in each of you. May God bless you and your families. May God bless the Pickens County school system. And we pray that our Lord will continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Good evening, and congratulations to all, battling a bit of a cold. And I'm just making that up because I'm following Ben Arms. Yeah. But as he said, if I step backwards, I'm going to fall. I'm just hoping that the stage holds up. So, congratulations to all of our teachers of the year. Music education at Harmony Elementary School is far more than teaching students about instruments and musical vocabulary. It is an experience that focuses on the whole child, from the intellectual to the physical. It's about learning, creating, and expressing yourself through song, dance, and performance. Students are encouraged to take risks, to try new things, and to support each other throughout the process. Music class is more than a class. It is a community. And the leader of this community is Miss Clara Pantazopoulos. Ms. Pantazopoulos completed her bachelor's and master's degree in music education from the University of Georgia. She has continued her learning throughout the years with a focus on or music pedagogy. In fact, not only has she achieved professional learning, she is also a certified instructor in this curriculum. Through this program, she implements various percussion instruments such as xylophones, metallophones, and glockenspiels, as well as instruments that I have heard of before writing a speech. The program also emphasizes singing and movement, garnering interest in all students. Ms. Pantazopoulos has taught music in Pickens County for 14 years at the elementary and middle school levels. She has been a part of the Harmony staff for 6 years, recently dividing her talents among HES and Tate Elementary. Through the generous reintroduction of full-time fine arts at the elementary level, Ms. Pantazopoulos was able to claim Harmony as her home. So thank you, Pickens County Board of Education, thank you, Dr. Wilson, and thank you, Ms. Pantazopoulos. Just as music works across disciplines, Ms. Pantazopoulos is much more than just a music teacher. She leads student intervention groups, helping with reading and math skills, collaborates with university students pursuing music education, safely monitors students in morning car duty, and earlier this month, she added tractor driver to her resume as she drove to the fall festival. In addition to the 6 classes of students she sees throughout the course of the school day, she also sponsors the HES Music Makers Club. They meet every Monday and Tuesday afternoon and is for our 4th and 5th grade students. The club goes beyond their work in the classroom and takes part in performances throughout the school year, such as the Veterans Day Luncheon, White Christmas programs, and a spring evening performance. Ms. Pantazopoulos also coordinates a monthly community sing and dance event for each grade level, in which students in the entire grade level meet in the gym to learn new dances and to showcase what talents they have been developing and skills they're learning. The staff and students at Harmony Elementary respect, value, and appreciate the dedication and work ethic that Ms. Pantazopoulos contributes to her students. To say that Clara Pantazopoulos is a music teacher only scratches the surface of what she brings to Harmony Elementary School, as well as the Pickens County School District. Ms. Pantazopoulos is a respected colleague, a highly qualified educator, a dedicated worker, and most importantly, an inspiration to all. I am truly honored to recognize the Harmony Elementary Teacher of the Year, Ms. Clara Pantazopoulos.
Thank you very much. Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Christina Canada-Clark as Hill City Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Ms. Cece, as she is affectionately known in Hill City by her students and peers, is a special education teacher. Ms. Cece teaches a wonderful mixture of children ranging from kindergarten through 5th grade, and she's been in the education profession for 14 years. Prior to coming to Pickens County, she has held such roles as Special Education Administrator, RTI Chair, School Testing Coordinator, and a K-8 Data Administrator. Ms. Cece has 3 wonderful children, her daughter Carly, who attends Pickens County Middle School and a former Hill City Hawk. She is an avid softball player. She has 2 sons, Noah, who attends Pickens High School, and he plays Dragon football, basketball, and baseball. And then she has a son, Aaron, who attended Chattahoochee Tech for welding. Ms. Cece lost her husband, Mickey, just last month, actually less than a month ago, after a long, long battle against the cruel disease of cancer. But Mickey, like Christina, was a fighter, and he fought long and hard. Ms. Cece is a resilient woman, a strong mother, a devoted wife, and a loving teacher. And I've had the opportunity to observe Ms. Cece instructing students many times in many ways. She has a plethora of strategies that she engages her students with while maintaining extremely high expectations for herself and her students. Ms. Cece's classroom is a place of active learning. Her students are reading, using technology, collaborating with each other, problem solving, and working on their social skills to prepare them to be college and or career ready. Ms. Cece gets to know her students to a point of instinctual ability. She has an in-depth understanding of each child's personality and individual differences. She understands what makes them tick. She understands what pushes their buttons. She understands their motives and their motivation. She has a way of reaching students and communicating with their families also to provide a positive, supporting, successful educational experience. A colleague shared that Ms. Cece brings a different point of view to teaching her students. She thinks outside the box and knows how to get through to her students when others can't. And one of her students said, Ms. Cece always does so much for us every day. She helps us with reading and math, but most importantly, she makes us happy and excited to be at school. And then another student said, every day Ms. Cece makes us feel like we're getting smarter and smarter. She is always kind to us, even when we make mistakes. While at Hill City, Ms. Cece has demonstrated outstanding leadership. She is a mentor to the HCES staff for her ability to provide a better understanding of behavioral issues and motivation. She provides support and understanding that leads to a positive academic experience to not only just the students in her room, but to all the students at Hill City Elementary School. Ms. Cece is a role model and a true professional. She enjoys her career and truly loves her students. She works hard every day to ensure that her students know that they are supported and loved. In her application packet, she wrote, "The greatest honor of my life is teaching these wonderful, special children and perhaps instilling in them this message. If they can believe it, they can achieve it." And these are a few reasons that Ms. Christina Canada-Clark was voted Hill City Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Please know we truly love you and we appreciate all that you do for our Hill City families.
See what y'all talking about now. A little bit of space. It's my privilege tonight to introduce Ms. Katie Poole as Tiger Nation's Teacher of the Year. Ms. Poole has been in the education field now for 9 years. She has worked as a paraprofessional for 3 years, a special education teacher for 2 years, 1 year as a second grade teacher, and is now my third grade chair for the first, on her third year in third grade as a grade chair. Ms. Poole is from Pickens County and attended school here. She is a true testament of what great education you can get from Pickens County schools. Ms. Poole is a talented lady that works hard to ensure every single one of her students succeeds. She is a leader among her peers and a joy to work with every day. It's not an exaggeration to say Ms. Poole changes students' lives. Growing up, she always was the one with a big heart and loved everyone and always wanted to help others. She loved playing school when she was young, and she knew from the start she always wanted to be a teacher. Now in her class, she makes learning fun and stimulating, knowing that engaging lessons are pivotal to our students' academic success. One of her favorite quotes of all times is, "You must first teach a child he is loved, only then he is ready to learn." There is no doubt in anyone's mind that Ms. Poole loves her students at Jasper Elementary. She knows that when a child is loved, they are capable of anything. There are endless amounts of stories that can attest to the benefits of the strong relationship Ms. Poole and has with her students, and I can stand up here forever and singing her praises. But here are some of what things her co-workers have said about her. Starting with Ms. Rita. Ms. Poole has a way with children. When students come to the office for driving others crazy, Ms. Poole would come in and patiently talk to the students and then let them sit in her room before they get it all together. Ms. Rita said that she is just so sweet and loving. And trust me, what Ms. Rita says is facts. She knows everything that happens in every way. From Ms. Buckingham, our ESOL teacher, about Ms. Poole. As a teacher who pushed into Ms. Katie's classroom last year, I had a unique perspective on her teaching. She was willing to try numerous different strategies to get the standards mastered. Students learned by watching her take the risk. Students watching her that taking risks is how we learn. Sometimes the method works and sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, you don't just quit. You keep on going. You don't keep on doing the same thing over and over. You look for other ways, other solutions. That's the sign of a great teacher, the one who teaches even though she doesn't know she's teaching. As some of the most influential role models for developing students, teachers are responsible for more than just academic enrichment. If you want to be a great educator like Ms. Poole, you must connect with your students and reach them on multiple levels, because the best teachers are committed to their students' well-being, both inside and outside the classroom. And with some of Ms. Poole's students this year, we spent a lot of time outside because we do have some runners. By forging strong relationships, Ms. Poole is able to affect virtually every aspect of her students' lives, teaching them the important life lessons that will help them succeed beyond writing informational essays or the Georgia milestones. It's not always easy to change a student's life, which is why it takes a great teacher like Ms. Poole to do so. If Ms. Poole can get a message out to all educators, it would be to love your students and love what you're doing. When the day comes that you no longer love what you're doing, the students will notice that you are no longer effective as a teacher. This is why she believes that as a teacher, we must have a reliable support system within our school system. Teachers must build relationships with each other and collaborate and support each other. Together, she states, we must work together and find ways to continue to drive education into our new generation of teaching and learning, where all students receive the love and learning they deserve and desire. Whatever a student needs to help them excel, a life-changing teacher needs to be there for them. I know Ms. Katie Poole will be. Congratulations, Ms. Poole. And I wish you recorded, but that was the best part. Tiger Nation's Teacher of the Year. And like Dr. Wilson said, she's hundreds of miles away with her fiance, with his dad. And so it's obvious that she chose the right place to be. And that's just the dedication and loving person that Katie Poole is. So congratulations, Katie.
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Hall, the principal at Tate Elementary School. I find it an honor and a privilege to come to work each day in Pickens County in the school system and as a part of the Tate family. It is a great honor and pleasure to introduce to you Tate Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Ms. Holly Moranos. Holly and her husband, Steve, have 2 boys, Turner and Connor. Turner graduated from PHS in 2014 and is now a senior at the University of North Georgia. Connor is a senior at PHS. If you ask the young Holly Moranos what she wanted to be when she grew up, she would say a mom and a teacher. Today, she's happy to be both. After graduating from college, she became a middle school math teacher in South Carolina. She continued her teaching career in Gwinnett County after moving to Georgia in 1992. While living and raising her children in Pickens County, she volunteered at the school that her boys attended, Tate Elementary. There, she was co-president of PTO and volunteered in her boys' classrooms. In 2011, she started as a substitute teacher at Tate, and in 2012 became a permanent part of the staff as a paraprofessional. In 2014, she began teaching 5th grade math and science at Tate and enjoys teaching there today. Holly's quality of teaching and character comes from her heart. Her dedication and perseverance are best described in her belief that teachers teach more than academics. Holly stated, "Our students are children with a story, and if we can connect with their story, we can teach the whole child." Her co-workers agreed. One wrote, "Holly is the one you can always depend on to greet you with a smile and words of encouragement. Her positive attitude and focus on student success makes her classroom inviting to all who enter." Another co-worker stated, "Anyone who's ever walked into her classroom immediately can feel the positive, safe place for learning that she has created for her students. Students feel comfortable asking questions and always know that they will be treated with respect in her classroom. Quite often across the hall, my class, you know who I'm talking about, can hear the infectious laugh of students and the students joining in with her. She makes math a fun class, even for those students who have not enjoyed it in the past." Holly's students agreed. One stated, "Miss Moranos made me feel like I was the best at something that I have never been the best at. I might not have been, but she made me feel like I was. She helped me understand math, and she said, and she was and always will be the best teacher I've ever had." Another student stated, "Miss Moranos is always there for me in time of need. Whether I need help with math or other personal problems, she is there. I can count on her. She is cool and nice and always positive." And a third student wrote, "Miss Moranos taught me a new way to do multiplication. Now I'm not covering my entire paper with numbers. She's also super funny and silly. She calls her Promethean board the phone." Miss Moranos is a teacher that I will never forget. These words confirm her servant's heart, her dedication and perseverance, but more importantly, her love of teaching. And that, in this love, that is the reason why I find it such an honor and privilege to introduce to you Tate Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Miss Holly Moranos.
I used to be the youngest person, but I think I'm the only one who's had to put these on, so I'm going to get on up there. I'm Anita Walker, and I'm very, very excited to tell you that Mr. Tom Kleinberg is our Teacher of the Year from Jasper Middle School. He's joined tonight by his wife, Mary, who is a teacher at Jasper Elementary, his 2 daughters, Addie, who is a student at Jasper Elementary, and Tori, who is a student at Jasper Middle School, a very good student, I might say. And I've just been sitting by his mother-in-law, Margaret, who's telling me that she's going to be working at Jasper Elementary as well. So a family in education, so very, very thankful for that. Tom joins us from a background in business. I am so thankful that God led him in the direction of Jasper Middle School and to teaching math. I feel like his family knew that he was destined to be a teacher. They named him they named him Thomas, but they called him Tom. And you might say, well, why does that have to do anything with being a teacher? Well, you know, in teaching, there's so many acronyms that we have. We've got the SIP, we've got the CCRPI. Well, if you didn't know, TOM is a new acronym, and that stands for Teacher of Mathematics. Thank you for laughing, because my husband told me that was very corny, that I should be that. But being a math teacher myself, I had to put it in. Tom came to Jasper Middle School in February of 2015, and if you have ever entered education in the middle of the year, that is a challenge. But for Tom, he made that a very smooth transition. He started in the field of special education, and this past year, he moved to 6th grade math regular ed classroom. Just the few years that he's been with us at Jasper Middle School, the students have selected him as Teacher of the Month. He has many leadership roles. He has been our tutoring coordinator. He has provided professional learning during faculty meetings for our other staff members. He is our 6th grade chairperson this year, and he has coached several sports while being at Jasper Middle. And of course, this year, his colleagues selected him as Teacher of the Year. So you can see that he is very well respected. But what makes Tom Teacher of the Year? And as a lot of these other principals did, I went to staff and to students. And one of the things that I saw over and over about Tom is that he is a leader. Many of the teachers talked about how he wants to help them and not just go out and do something for them, but he makes sure that they understand, just like he does with his students. If he learns something new, he's out there sharing it with them. He has very high expectations. In his biography, he said, "We make easy happen through hard work and learning." And when I read that, I thought, that's Tom. Tom does that as well, because he's a continuous learner. He explains things to the kids. Today I was like, tell me what you like best about Mr. Kleinberg. Well, he's nice. I got that. And he makes us do our work. And I was like, yes, right on. And then they said he explains things to us very well also. Tom is a teacher in his class. He expects mistakes, and then he respects those mistakes as well, because we can't learn without making some mistakes. The thing that I admire the most with Tom and his teaching is his passion for it. He spends countless hours, not for himself or for the glory of himself, but for his students. He gets excited about learning in the classroom, not just in the classroom. He gets excited on the court. He gets excited on the ball field. He loves our kids. He attends events even when he doesn't have to. And yes, you know, he has a daughter at Jasper Middle, but sometimes he's at those events when she's not even there. And I want to sum up. I would love to take credit for this, but I sent out a survey asking teachers for their comments, and there was this one that was just fabulous. I would give the person credit, but those are anonymous. I don't ask for who gives me what. So I don't know who to credit this with, but after reading it, I thought that's a perfect description of Tom. He is the type of teacher that every middle school dreads on day one, but loves at the end of the year. For his students, he is constantly challenging, always expecting their very best, and never accepts unwarranted excuses. By the end of the term, he gets great results, and his students feel very accomplished. Overall, his dedication to teaching and his compassion for the youth of Jasper make Mr. Kleinberg a shining example of what it means to be a 21st century teacher. We love you, Tom Kleinberg. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Penny Fowler, principal at Pickens County Middle School. And it is my sincere pleasure to introduce the PCMS Teacher of the Year, Kimberly Caroline. Kim has been teaching middle grades for over 24 years. I don't know how much experience you guys have with middle grades, but that's a long, long time in middle grade years. This is her 3rd year at Pickens County Middle School. During her 3 years at PCMS, Kim has taught math, science, and ELA. Last year, she taught all 3 of those. She has served as grade level chair and math chair. She's been a member of the Climate Committee and Discipline Committee. She has served on the school leadership team. She has mentored new teachers, coached cheerleading, served on the school advisory council, and I'm sure many other committees and duties that I am forgetting. Last year, Kim presented at the annual Georgia Middle School Association Conference in Valdosta, where one of the GMSA board members was so impressed that she said, "I have got to come to PCMS and visit her classroom," which she did recently, I think. We all know there are many qualities that make a good teacher: content knowledge, rigorous and exciting lessons, the ability to build relationships with students, and classroom management are the ones that immediately come to mind for me. It is not uncommon for a good teacher to possess 1, 2, or even 3 of these abilities. But to be a phenomenal teacher, the teacher must possess all of these abilities and demonstrate outstanding, continual, high levels of professionalism and commitment to students and to school. And let's not forget the importance of a positive attitude with students, peers, parents, and administration. It is without a doubt that I can say Kimberly Caroline is the teacher who personifies a phenomenal teacher, possessing not 1 or 2 of these qualities, but every single one of them. Mrs. Caron has an innate ability to reach every student at their individual level, creating a desire to succeed at their highest potential. I've seen her work with the top gifted students and the struggling learners, and every student loves her and every student gets what they need. Ms. Caron is the teacher that all teachers should strive to be like, and that is why she is the perfect choice for PCMS Teacher of the Year. Ms. Caron.
Not quite Christmas yet, but we're obviously playing White Elf in January. Good evening, I'm Chris Wallace, Principal Pickens High School. And before I begin telling you how awesome my Teacher of the Year is, I just want to say congratulations to each one of you who have arrived here tonight by this distinction. You truly deserve to be honored. I personally believe that one of the most meaningful commendations that a teacher can receive is the acknowledgement of greatness from their peers. To be nominated and ultimately elected to represent your school in this program is a wonderful accomplishment. I cannot think of anyone more deserving than the lady I will be speaking of this evening. Miss Lynn Cantrell is the epitome of what it means to be a teacher, that I can qualify her this label from the following perspectives: student, co-worker, assistant principal, and now her principal. I feel truly blessed to have had her, or to have her on our team, and the students she teaches are extremely fortunate to have her as their teacher. As a student, I knew Miss Cantrell was a great teacher. While I did not always like the way she held us accountable, I always knew she cared. Oftentimes in her geometry class, I wondered, Where will I ever use the Pythagorean theorem? I was a project manager for a residential developer before I became a teacher myself, and it just so happened I did use that theorem. And many other things that she taught us along the way. In honor of the many things I learned in her class as a student, I decided to list some of the attributes she possesses in an acronym, because as educators, we love acronyms. I am using geometric as the appropriate acronym to describe some of Ms. Cantor's qualities. First of all, genuine. She is authentic and sincere with students, parents, and coworkers. Effective. Her methods of teaching and communicating are tried and true. Optimistic. She shares a positive outlook with everyone around her. Motivated. She strives to be her best for the students every day, even in her 31st year. Equitable. Her efforts to display fair treatment to all students is evident. Trustworthy. She has created an environment of trust with her students and colleagues. Relational. She does a great job of relating to her students, and they respect her greatly. Invaluable. She is a vital member of our team, and it would be next to impossible to replace her. Compassionate. She has a deep concern for the well-being of all students. On behalf of all stakeholders of Pickens County, thank you for your hard work, patience, diligence, and determination to make a positive difference in the lives of our students. You have and are continuing to make a difference inside and outside of the classroom. It is a blessing to work alongside you each and every day. While I'm fairly certain that when I was in your class in high school, we never dreamed I would become a principal, much less your principal. However, I am not one bit surprised that you would become the Teacher of the Year, not once but twice, of Pickens High School. I cannot think of anyone more deserving of this honor or better suited to represent Pickens High School as our Teacher of the Year than you, Miss Lynn Cantrell. Thank you for being you.
And now, it is with great pride, honor, and privilege to introduce you to Pickens County 2018 Teacher of the Year, Miss Christina Canada-Clark. If I could have all of our candidates to come up here, please. All 7 teachers of the year. Have a couple of things from Sean Hankins for our 6 teachers of the year. Have $50 gift cards. And for our Teacher of the Year, a $100 gift card. From Shottenkirk Ford, I have a little gift basket for each one of you. There is something in it, if you would open. It is a torch. For those who can experience 50-inch television. Bojangles for our Teacher of the Year, a $500 gift card. That's a lot of chicken. And one more gift basket if you'll open that.
Could you step forward?
Step up. Keys to a new car for 1 year on lease from Shottenkirk Ford. Thank you for coming to what I think is one of our greatest events in celebrating excellence in teaching. Thank you.